Hello and welcome to another Scraplift Crafternoon. This week is a special week. This week we are celebrating the birthday of one of our very own. This is Kristen's birthday week, and so we have selected one of her layouts to lift. And this is the one we're lifting, and I'm really excited about it. And guess what? I'm not using this collection, even though Print Shop by Vicki Boutin is probably one of my favorite all-time collections ever. It's not going to work for what I'm doing today, so I'm going to be switching it up. If you are new here, welcome. I am Karen. I am the everything behind the channel here on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and I would love to have you as a follower here as well as in those other places. Now, if you are returning, grab your favorite beverage, pull up some supplies, and let's make a layout together. Here's what I am loving about this layout. First of all, I love that it's centering on smaller photos. I don't know about you, but I have a ton of smaller photos, or photos that maybe were taken in not the best of conditions. So if you blow them up, they look even worse, right? So leave them small. I love that. I also love her mix of elements. I love the wordy strips. I love the tabs. I love the stars. I love that she has circles. I love that she has layers. And so that's kind of where I'm going. Layers, circles, wordy bits, all the things. All right. Collection we're going to use today. Heidi Swapp. I love the Heidi Swapp Halloween and Christmas collections. I think they are so incredibly well done. And I love them. Love them. But you know what? I don't use them. You heard me right. Confessions. I keep them. And I don't use them. And my challenge has been this year to use what I have. And I really need to use these 2 years. Not 1, 2 years of Heidi Swapp Christmas collections. So that when the new one comes out, I don't feel guilty buying it. Because I've used what I have. I'm also that kind of person that I get the kit plus the 12 by 12 paper pack in addition. So I have 2 sheets of everything. So when I say I have 2 years, I have lots of paper. But I love the quality of it. It's super, it's not quite as thick as a 49 in market, but it's not as thin as, say, a Simple Stories. It is a really good weight paper. And it's easy to cut. Easy to fussy cut if you wanted to. So, here's what we're working with. I have these 2 photos from Mickey's Very Merry Halloween Party. Oh my good gravy. Y'all. 'Tis the season to celebrate Halloween-thankmas. Yep. All 3 together. So, in my head, as we are watching and preparing for this year's trip for Halloween, I am scrapping Christmas pictures from 2 years ago. So there's that. It's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That's where we were. And I drew elements or inspiration from this banner that they have in the background. Now, why Minnie and Daisy's picture turned out better than Donald, I don't know. And Scrooge, I really don't know, because they were both taken by PhotoPass people. I don't know. But they didn't. I know this one has a pretty harsh flash because you can see the shadow. But I would rather have a harsh flash than a dark picture. And before I noticed how dark it was, I had already printed it. So, you know, there's that. That happens. Now, let's talk about how we're going to layer some of this up. I pulled out 3 different papers from this collection that I loved. This one, I feel like, has that very, I don't know what that feel is, but I feel like it matches. I love this idea of maybe cutting that out and gutting it so it's a frame. So by gutting it, I would come around with a knife. We'll see how I'm feeling. I do have new blades in all my knives, so we might. But having that there, I also love the idea of maybe trimming this one in just a little bit and maybe having it fit with this. I don't know. But I think we're going to cut some of these out and use these because I feel like they go with. The back side is a pretty pink that also would work because pink goes so well with this. Then I have two other papers that I'm in love with. This one, which are the huge letters. There's the huge joy, which is on my t-shirt, says joyful. And then you have all the other letters. And here's joyful. I just thought that would be fun. Maybe to fussy cut out some of those letters and have words spread. The back is red and pink. That would be fun too. That gives off this vibe. And then we have this one with the ledger on the other side. And I'm kind of feeling the ledger for my circles. Maybe take one from down here and one from more up here. But it also has this really pretty greenery, which would also work. So I think we're going to start with circles. So that's where we are. I did pull out a bunch of bits and pieces. This will definitely make it onto our layout because look, candy cane. And it's perfect because it has the same kind of bow. The only thing missing would be a little bit of holly, and look at what I've got. Some holly. So there. So I've got that. I've got some Christmas trees. We've got some bows. We have some more peppermint candies. We have some tags that I pulled that I really like. This one is one that was printed that came with the collection. These I printed on my computer. And then I thought for part of my title, this says Very Merry. And I thought it worked perfectly. And it could be Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Oh, letters. We have a couple of choices. These are all Heidi Swap letters. And I have never used them. So this would be a great time to dive in and use them, right? I think so too. I also really loved this. There's some circle ones. There's some tab ones. That doesn't quite match our colors like this side does, but so I pulled those out. So we have some things to work with, right? So we are going to dive into this by starting with these circles in the background. So let me finish clearing the deck. I've kind of been doing that while we were talking. We're going to get out the circle maker thing, this thing from, I think it's EK Success. And we're going to cut some circles. So let me gather some things up and we're going to make a layout. All right, let's get into this. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to cut some circles. And I am using this EK Success circle maker thing, and it does slip. That does occasionally happen. No big deal. We're just going to make it work. I'll show in just a minute how I did that. And then here we have cut the other circle. So while I'm playing, I'm kind of flipping that piece around that has the extra cut. We are going to run that off the side of the page just a little bit, and that takes care of the oops on my circle cut, which is a fantastic way to make that work. We're going to add the other circle, which is just slightly bigger, up into the corner, and I decided I wanted a third circle, so I made a smaller circle that we're also going to edge out and put down in the bottom. I really felt like with the kind of bokeh effect of this background paper that the circles would be a great addition to have that third one. We're going to cut out the words joyful and fa la la that I had alluded to in the beginning of the video. I did cut some of the cutting out, y'all. I don't love to watch it. I don't love to do it. So I thought I would save you that heartache. But pretty much all I'm doing is fussy cutting around the edge. I am not taking out the centers of any of these letters. You can always do that by cutting through the letter, or you can use an X-Acto knife to take out the centers. I just didn't do that today. So we're going to finish cutting out the fa la 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 word. That was a lot of la la la's to cut out. And we are going to get these situated to where they go. I am going to use liquid adhesive to stick these down. So I'm going to grab my berry art glue, and we are going to square these up into the corner areas. When I set them down, I just kind of had them floating. I decided I wanted them anchored into the corners versus floating. I did, after I had all of the layout actually finished, I did go back and look at it, and I thought, how cool would that have been to cut out all of the words and come back in and place them over the circles and the bokeh background. Didn't happen, but I was kind of like, that could have been very interesting. So I am cutting out some of these elements from the back of this paper. We are going to make a frame out of this top one and stick the corners in of the photo so that it's kind of like a photo holder frame. And here is where I do that. So I've taken my X-Acto knife. This is I believe it's a Fiskars one. It's the finger holder. I just don't stick my finger through it. And we're just going to come along the edges of each of these pieces. I did decide that I needed to trim my photo just the slightest little bit for it to fit. And there we have a great looking matted photo where I didn't have to come in and fussy cut all of the back. So we're going to add some elements. This is the fun and hard part all at the same time, because I know kind of what I want when I started this, when I was envisioning it from our original layout, but I wasn't quite 100% there yet. So we're going to distress edge this circle that's going to go down here in the bottom. That's going to be part of our title. Really kind of like how that looked. And then we're going to add some of our elements in, matting our photo. I did decide to cover up part of the la 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 up there in the fa la la word. It just kind of ties all of the pieces together when they overlap, which is really nice. Drop this photo down to the bottom of the circle, add in the peppermint and the bows, and here I decide that I want to add this little piece of holly into this candy cane piece. So of course I have stuck it all the way down, so we're just going to kind of ease part of it up with our scissors and get the holly down. It's not exactly how I wanted it, but you know, it is what it is, and it looked fabulous being finished. So now we're going to work on the title, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And y'all, while I have been making this layout, I have been watching videos about the Halloween party that we get to go to in October. And so it was very hard for me to get Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party down and not put Halloween. So congratulations to me that I didn't put Halloween and have to rip up all of these letters and do the other. So one last little piece that we're going to do here towards the end is we are going to add some more of the embellishments. I noticed that there was kind of an empty spot here on the title and wanted to add something. And then I wanted to tie in the photo with the word joyful. Now we're going to grab a black pen and we're going to edge out these little circles so that they stand out a little more against the background. Here is our finished layout. I am really loving how this one turned out. Now I will say I'm torn. I love these ho 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 ho's. And part of me kind of wanted to add them, but maybe not. Like maybe that's overkill. But I love how the title turned out. I loved using this die cut that came in the kit along with the stickers to say Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I do love the fa la la and the joyful, especially since my t-shirt said joyful. Yeah, so this one was a fantastic one. Happy birthday again, Kristen. I hope you have had an amazing birthday and wish you nothing but the best in the next year. Oh, my friend. For the rest of us who have been here, I hope that you have been inspired by this layout to take it and make it your own and scrapbook some of the pictures that you have. Make sure you check out everybody down below. There are some links down there to where I love to shop. They are affiliate links, full disclosure. They don't cost you anything extra to shop through them, but it really does help me keep this channel going. And I really, really appreciate every single one of you who uses them to shop. So until we're together again next week, go make some memories. Bye-bye.